Hi, all. So I just wanted to take a minute and talk to you about grades and the way grades are going to operate in this course because I feel like everybody always gets really nervous about grades. So first off, this class is not graded on a curve. You are going to get the grade that you put in the work for, right? And really that's up to you in terms of the way that I've designed the class. So this first unit is going to focus predominantly on perusal assignments. So the goal is going to be reading through some information, learning how to process and analyze that information, and discussing. So here where it says perusal assignments, that's what we're talking about. Each of these assignments, and you see it's like, hey, you can type something right here. Each of these assignments is worth 10 points for 60 points total. So the more you read, the more you engage, the more you use text on perusal to discuss, the higher the grade you'll get. In terms of practice quizzes, these are based entirely on completion. So you're going to have practice quizzes for every unit that are short but designed to help you practice specific concepts. They are untimed, they are open book, open note, open lecture, right? So the goal is not to get you with the questions. Really, I want you to have space to practice and to feel comfortable and confident in the concepts. Each practice quiz that you take, like I said, is based on completion. It'll be worth 5 to 10 points, depending on the number of practice quizzes in a given week. And you can repeat practice quizzes as many times as you need to. And I highly encourage you to do this before you take the unit quizzes. So each unit is going to have a unit quiz. The idea behind the unit quiz is that it will be comprehensive and cover everything from the practice quizzes in that unit. So one of the things with grammar is that grammatical concepts build on each other. So as we continue unit by unit, we're going to be building on concepts that we covered earlier. So the unit quizzes are always going to be comprehensive and based on the quality or kind of the accuracy of your answers. They're for the most part all going to be multiple choice, matching, right? True, false, that sort of thing. And once again, they're untimed, they're open book, open note. My goal is for you to really be able to demonstrate the breadth of your understanding. You'll also notice the little asterisks here. So with unit quizzes, I know that testing anxiety is real. So if you are worried about these unit quizzes and are like, oh no, I can't take it as many times as I need, that's going to completely screw up my grade. It's not. So for every unit quiz, you have the opportunity to earn back any points that you miss by doing a specific set of tasks. So here's an example of what those tasks might look like. So this is, as you can see, Unit 2 quiz makeup points. So there'll be a prompt that's pretty standard, and then we'll specify the requirements. So let's say that you miss question number 1, which focuses on definitions. You're explaining to me why you got it wrong, what you were missing, what the correct answer is, why it's correct, and providing an example of a word that belongs to that class. And just in case you're not certain about that and what it looks like, I have PDFs of what it is that I'm asking you to do for these assignments. And I am asking you to handwrite them and submit them either as JPEGs or PDFs. So that way, I know that you're kind of working on it and not just relying on kind of resources online because things work differently in our brains depending on whether or not we're actually writing or just kind of typing or using online tools. So I'm going to come back to the grading section of our syllabus. So that's how it works for unit quizzes. And then the last thing that we'll have for the class will be the final quiz. And that's going to be a comprehensive quiz based on everything that we've covered in the previous 7 units. So you can kind of think about it as a where are you now type of quiz. I want to know what you've learned at this point. And it's only worth 10% of your grade, right? 100 points, just like every other quiz. so it's not like some type of big dramatic thing. There are also no gotcha questions. So they're all concepts we've covered. They're all sentences that we've talked about or used. They're the same types of questions. So it's really just demonstrating that you have kind of committed this information to your long-term memory. Um, so, right, with that, there will also be like a couple of reflective questions at the end just to give me a little bit of information about what you're thinking, what your takeaways are, what you're understanding. So that means that the grade that you will see right away once you submit the quiz is only for the multiple choice type questions. The typed up ones are ones that I will have to grade. So don't panic if you get a score on the quiz that you're not expecting. There is not an opportunity for this quiz to go back and redo it because this is the very last thing you're submitting. So take your time, just like everything else. It's untimed, open book, open notes. So make sure that you have time set aside for taking it. You have a total of 1,000 points in the class, right? Which means basically like every 100 points is worth 10% of your grade. Um, and the kind of letter grades are pretty standard, right? 90 to 100%, 80 to 89%, et cetera, et cetera. So please don't hesitate to post here if you have any questions for me about how grades work. But that's just kind of generally the way things will operate.